used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays, all the niggas that be see-through. I always said this is that I'm staying around people. Finding my own path like I'm writing my own sequel. Two-faced people all around, they be evil. 2021, you can never trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts on my mind, they be crowded. Wish a nigga pass his limits, then he see he bought it. Family work hard, but I never catch them found it. Came a long way, in my dream now I be drowning. Niggas stay dying, I hear got some hearts pounded. Multi-talented, my passion I haven't found it. Yeah, in my home, I was never ever doubted.
We're live. One more.
Successful I feel. All the memories come flooding back, hit different. I've changed a lot, friends list got thinner. Ain't tripping about enemies, true and stay hidden. He was lurking, so we made sure he went missing. Told the fakers to leave, but they wouldn't listen, they faulty. Now they gotta watch me glisten, they ain't silent. Like some snakes, they stay hissing. Spreading words and rumors, they gon' keep dissing.
Yes, people, we're live. Happy Father's Day to each and every father out there today. Today is Sunday, and we got the Euros going on. You know, we got a little bit of Chelsea news. You know, so this won't be a long stream today. It'll be a little short stream because you know the Euros game are going on, and I know a lot of you guys want to go and watch the game. So we're just here to run down, you know, a few little stories here and there. You know, as we normally do our little Sunday evening shows. So let us just take our time and you know, go through a few of the games today. Jersey is supposed to join me on the stream in a minute. You know, I'll wait for him till he jump on. You know, before we get started. But it's a good look. You know, for what I've seen the Euro so far, it's very entertaining, very much entertaining. You know, we got some good games. You know, some goals, a lot of goals being scoring too. So it's not only just good games. You know, a lot of good goals are scoring. Like just watch the Netherlands game. You know, it was an excellent game. You know, the man is here now. You know, so it's nice to see. You know, Jersey, beloved Germany. You know, won. So it's a good look so far. You know, Mr. Nagelsmann himself, you know, carrying the German. Yeah, yeah, here it is. Here's a man. Thank you, Jersey, for joining me on this Sunday evening stream. You know, we already got 4 people watching. You know, so how everything is. You know, how was the weekend?
Everything is good. It was a good 1 week off to recover, rejuvenate, health also, you know, and all the shocks that were given to us by the sporting directors in the last 2-3 weeks. So I took the time to rest, recover. And as you can see on the screen, Julian Nagelsmann and my hairstyle, it's the same hairstyle. You know, whenever there's a World Cup or Euros, the fans would like to have their hairstyle of like a David Beckham or Son or Julian Nagelsmann or a Kaka, right? So I still have the passion of a teenager, you know. It's not quite the same, but you know, still trying to have it. Like I took this photo and gave it to the barber that I want to be like this guy for this tournament. So, you know, when I saw Germany and the personality, 6'3" tall, 36, 37-year-old guy who has already coached for 7 years because he retired due to an injury, right? So he
Yes.
went into coaching at the age of 28, 29, 30. I think he was at Leipzig, 31, 30, 31. He coached Leipzig, made them into a regular Champions League team, was linked with Manchester City. Even Guardiola wanted him to be his successor, but he stayed. He decided to stay. Manchester United wanted Nagelsmann. But when the time came, he joined Munich. For some reason, they gave him a 5-year deal. And to anyone who think, of course, managers get sacked. It's Mourinho got sacked, Ancelotti got sacked. All the greats get sacked, right? Until I mean, unless you're Sir Alex, who would stay in the club for 20 years, or Arsene Wenger. So or Pep Guardiola, who would always win the league each year. So when he was sacked, Germany was first in the Bundesliga table. They were not second or third. They were first by quite a margin. They only in the last 3 games, 3 or 4 games, he lost 2 games. That's it. It was a very small bad patch, and they were undefeated for 8 games in the Champions League. They just like Hansi Flick was 19 games undefeated, which was a record, but he was 8 games undefeated, and who knows what could have happened. 6 out of 6 games in the group stage, round of 16, both wins, not even a single draw. He was on the skiing trip when he got sacked, with the Oliver Kahn.
Seems like Jersey has first up there. Oh, you're back.
Okay,
go ahead.
maybe the stream is getting a little bit heated with Julian Nagelsmann, right? So he was undefeated. He lost 2 games in February of 2023, and that was it. That was just a very small bad patch. The reason why he got sacked was political. I'm sure you will agree. It has nothing to do with the performance. He won the league before that and the cup. This year he was undefeated in the Champions League. Who knows what could have happened before Tuchel joined. He was on the skiing trip and he was sacked. He was enjoying the holidays for a few days in the international break and he got sacked. And it was because of the sporting directors, the board, the hierarchy in Bayern, which is perhaps the most political in the world, people say. Most difficult. Even Hansi Flick, after winning 6 trophies, dominating Bundesliga and the Champions League like no other Bayern coach in modern times, he couldn't get along with them. He left, right? So same with Tuchel. Of course, Tuchel did not perform, but he could not get along with them. Nagelsmann, they even called Nagelsmann, by the way. They officially called, they really wanted Nagelsmann to come back after Tuchel. But Nagelsmann rejected them. The point of this discussion is, of course, this is primarily, we know, I haven't forgotten, is a Chelsea channel. This speech is for Chelsea. It's not for Julian Nagelsmann.
This is football.
It's the frustration that we did not get this man. We had an opportunity to get this young, dynamic tactician, the brain, the modern brain, who is 15 years ahead of every manager, in my opinion. We did not get him. And the reason we did not get him, I was just reading the Sky, and there are different reports. Chelsea say we rejected him. Of course, that's what Chelsea will say. Nagelsmann camp say we turned it down. I would believe the Nagelsmann camp, because Romano said that the deal, he almost had an emergency podcast that the deal is imminent. He said that Nagelsmann is heavily, I'm sure you know, is loved, is heavily, you can say, liked. They rate him so high. As soon as Bayern dismissed him, the owners, all of a sudden dismissed Potter because they knew they wanted this guy. It's all over. Romano said it's unanimous. They want Julian Nagelsmann. There is no second thoughts. He is the only guy. He is on top of the list. There was another update by Fabrizio Romano on his YouTube channel, that it could be a day or two when he'll be announced. And then he came when everyone, all of us celebrated that we are getting the next big thing, the iconic German Rottweiler, Julian Nagelsmann. But no, then Romano said that somehow they had a talk, it couldn't get through. That's all he said. He said there was some terms and conditions they did not agree with. This is what I'm trying to bring the attention to the viewers. Why the Chelsea board and the sporting directors could not agree to whatever Sir Lord Julian Nagelsmann asked for. If he asked for a player, why not, sir? You can have it, man. Because when you have this kind of a manager, you don't want to miss this kind of a manager. You don't want to miss this kind of a manager who is head and shoulders ahead of everyone. With the knowledge, passion, his ability, so scientific, have utilized 9 to 10 formations, always would put his team as against his opponent. He don't have a pattern, by the way. He don't have. Yes, he's playing 4-2-3-1 again. This is a fashionable formation for somehow these days. He used 4-2-2-2 with Bayern Munich. He used 4-1-4-1, a 3-4-2-1, and all those crazy kind of formations. Some very, very crazy where the pivot. There were three pivot who were even in the sometimes defense, the attack. So he is very versatile, and it's not just he was mixing things up. He had a very careful thought. So missing Julian Nagelsmann, and now because he's not managing a club, and we don't often see Germany or other international team, it's difficult to catch, on the international friendlies or qualifiers until and unless it's a World Cup, Euros. So when I saw the game against Scotland, when I saw him walking down the ramp into the stadium, I was like, this is a winner. And I was like, this could have been a Chelsea manager. A Chelsea manager with us for many years, multiple Premier Leagues, Champions League, but we missed on that. And what a performance by Germany. I know it's Scotland, not the best team in the world, but what a performance that was. Honestly, we all know that Germany is right now not the best team in the world. They are perhaps a third or fourth favorite in Euros, right? Not even the first two. First two is definitely France and England. For sure is France and England if you see the squad. Third, fourth could be Germany, Spain, Holland, something like that. We can always debate, but Germany is not the first two favorite. And they had a very awful time under one of the greatest, Hansi Flick. To see Nagelsmann in 8 months, Hansi Flick was sacked in September, Govan. To see Lord Julian Nagelsmann, not only in the last 14 games, they had a 64% win, which is great, with a lot of draws, only 1 or 2 losses. I was not expecting the kind of performance. It was a performance to me that Germany is Nagelsmann is with Germany for 4 years. The team was on fire. The way they attacked, the way they dominated the midfield, the movement, the synchronization, the 1-2s they played, the way they tracked back, the way they were able to counter the low block. A huge low block of back five of Scotland. I was thinking with Pochettino was not able to do that, right? And this guy was able to do that with his players playing in unbelievable position. They're understanding the movement, and Jamal Musiala now. What I would say, I know I went long. Keep an eye on Julian Nagelsmann during Euro 2024. That's all I can say. So, Jamal Musiala, what a sensational game he had. The movements, people were comparing him with Kaká, with Ronaldinho, and for sure, I won't doubt that. This guy is also one of the, if not the best young player right now in the world with a huge potential. And he was with us, sir. So, and please go ahead on Germany, Scotland, Julian Nagelsmann, and Sir Jamal Musiala.
As I'm gonna say, I know we're on the Euro topic, but this one in line with Chelsea, and for me, I always said this is a talent one of the talent that slipped through our hands, and that's why I always go back to these owners, because when they just come in, they always talk about how much Roman make a lot of these young talented players slip through our fingers, and they didn't want to make the same mistake, But Musiala, what a player, what a player to have in your team, and I think that's one that really slip away from us, and we regret, because right now we can't sign him again. Our opportunity was to give him first team game, and one of the main reasons why sometimes I don't bash this regime, even though I don't like it, is because back in Roman days, these young players didn't get opportunity, to your Kevin De Bruyne, your Mo Salah. I always said this on my channel. Those are some players that should have at least get a pathway and get a few opportunity, to show what they can do. And probably they would be one of the club legend today, because Chelsea would be a force to reckon with. We would be consistently, challenging. And I think that's one of the big mistake from the old regime. But Germany, go back to Germany, not taking nothing away from Germany. What a performance. I know that we're gonna say Scotland, but you have to turn up on the day. It doesn't matter what the team is. This is a tournament, and you have to turn up, because the last World Cup, Germany didn't turn up. We all know how the other group stage went. So Germany didn't turn up. So for me to watch and see, how they match their opponent and let their opponent seems like they didn't show up, that for me is giving the manager credit, because this manager, one thing I like with Nagelsmann, he don't really got a set philosophy. A lot of coach got a set philosophy, where you can always, know their next move. Sometimes you can stop it because they're so well drilled, but you can know what their team's gonna exactly play like. With Nagelsmann, sometimes you go with a back four, sometimes you go with a back three. He mix it up. Sometimes you go with a 4-4-3, and even Kai Havertz at one time was playing as a left back. So that to show you that this guy try to build a team, to be flexible. Players can move around in different pieces, and that's what I like with the game. I don't like the one dimension teams, to be quite honest. I like when team is flexible. When you can move your midfielder, especially go play at least as a center back, or a right back, so just a way to find a gap. I never forget this game that I went to. It was an under 17 World Cup qualification game that hosted in Jamaica back in 2010, I think 2011, somewhere in that bracket. And I went to that game, and the United States did have a right winger. He was the worst player on the pitch in the first 25 minutes. Like, everyone was screaming to take him off the pitch, and the coach didn't take him off. He switched him. He make a switch in his tactics and move him to the next side. And that player, I couldn't believe the player that I was seeing in front of me. I was wondering if it was the same player. So those are the things I'm talking about, when a manager can see a problem and twist their formation to match their opponent and to dominate the game, or to come out with a victory with their team. And that's what this young manager do. I really like him, as a young manager, because he showed that he's adaptable and he's flexible. I know sometimes they said he got some childish, behavior when he would be rolling around on skateboards and stuff like that. But a man got to do what they do for them to be happy. So for me, they're human just like me and you. You can't tell a man how to live his life as long as he's not breaking any rules, right? And he's not discriminating or nothing like that. So a man free to live his life and do whatever it takes, for make him happy, so he can do his job. And this is one of the best young manager right now. He's the next big thing. He's already the next big thing. Because if you check the young crop of manager that's coming in, he's the best out of all. And he's going to be dominating the game for years and years to come, because he's very young. All is at a manager, their time gonna come when they're gonna get outdated. Just like or go to Jose Mourinho. Time gonna come when you got Pep, and they will be sitting on the sideline or be a pundit, on some Sky Sport. But this man got to be in the game for at least the next 15 years, because he's that young. Next 15 years from now, he's probably just touching 50. So that to show you the longevity this manager have, and to build a young team, this would be the right man to give a young team with especially players with 10-year contract. So this would have been the right one of the right profile for this, but whatever that happened in that meeting that they couldn't see eye to eye, you know, it's unfortunate because I would have loved if they could have see eye to eye and get it together. But that's just the way it is. You know, Nagelsmann, as I said, is a world class manager, and wish him and Germany all the best. Even though Germany is one of my biggest rival, when it comes to World Cup, but this is not World Cup. This is the Euros because I'm a Brazil true and true, and Germany is the only team is close to me. When it come on to lifting the World Cup, how many World Cup we lifted. So for me right now, it's a good look. I like what I see. Hopefully in the future that we as I said, we Chelsea can fix the problems. If Enzo Maresca don't work out, hopefully we can go back in and tell Nagelsmann like these players are mature now. We can give you this team to bring them through to the future. Because in my point of view, before one last point for me, I think the reason why they weren't seeing eye to eye, he didn't want all these young players. So I think that was one of the main thing why him and the board couldn't come to an agreement. They didn't want to sign some more experienced players. But this board, I like what they're doing because they're building for the next 10, 15 years, getting all the best talent so we can dominate probably for the next 10, 15 years. I appreciate that. That it looks good, but it's not working. It haven't worked yet. So we still have to wait on that to see how it's going to turn out. Because we're going to touch on some transfer news in a few. But you can see what they're trying to do. But will it work? We don't know. But the next year from now or 2 years from now, most of these players are going to be mature. So would you go for a more experienced manager, which Nagelsmann would be the next experienced manager?
Yeah, very well said. I agree with you because as of now, we think, it seems that he will be with Germany up till the 2026 World Cup because he's very young. And it's interesting as well that he has taken this route. Usually managers would go in the club, would progress. Some of them would be managing top clubs and then eventually would go into international route with the international team. Some of them could not cut it. That's why sometimes they go to the international team. But with him, perhaps the most wanted manager out there, and yet he took the opportunity. So I think he's ahead of this curve. This is also one of a kind situation that a 36-year-old guy, already with 6 years experience with Leipzig, 4 years, 3 years. Hoffenheim before, I always forgot. He worked with another club. I should know better, his first club. Then Leipzig, amazing work at Leipzig. The way he built was, and he worked with Ralf Rangnick. So he is also a disciple of Ralf Rangnick. Garben, he has learned firsthand with Ralf Rangnick, the legendary Austrian coach, who is more of a brain, who worked with Tuchel, Klopp, an amazing sporting director who worked and built the project at Leipzig. So I would have honestly, when they announced these, I don't want to even take the name, these sporting directors. I would wanted Ralf Rangnick, as the sporting director, because there's no one, in my opinion, anyone better to build a project than Ralf Rangnick, who revolutionized German football, by the way, who revolutionized the modern German football, working with the grassroots, working with the academy, working with the projects, working with RB Leipzig, with the German national team as a director in the board. So his role has been amazing, working with coaches like Klopp, with Tuchel, with Julian Nagelsmann. And Rangnick also said that Julian Nagelsmann is the next big thing, is ahead of the curve. And so Julian Nagelsmann, of course, is here taking on a very difficult role when a great, iconic manager like Hansi Flick flop, to be very honest, in his recent role, which I would not look too much into that, but for his whole profile. But the quick turnaround, sorry, Garvin, this is also amazing because, we know that just Germany is not the best German team of the last 2 decades. As you know, you have been supporting Brazil all your life. I can understand. Germany, the biggest rivals, perhaps 4 times World Cup winner, one of the strongest team historically with Brazil, always give a tough time. 2002, as long as I can go back, the final Brazil Germany, right? 2014, when Brazil hosted a 7-1 win by Germany in many and many fixtures, where both of the teams stopped each other in the final, semi-final, quarter-final. But this Germany has a lot of young players. There were 5 to 6 players that I didn't even know in the first game. I was asking the recruitment specialist Tubeho, who has an eye on Hoffenheim, Bayer Leverkusen, all these clubs, Leipzig. So there are so many young players of Germany. That is interesting as well. So many young players, along with the likes of Sane and Kimmich. So this is a very interesting dynamic. But the pace is amazing, Garvin. The one thing I noticed, they had so much energy. They were very, very fast. When they have legs, they have serious legs with so many young players out there. And so, yeah, my idea was, if change Pochettino, go for a Flick, go for a Ruben Amorim. If not, then stick with Pochettino because he had one more year, 24-25. If he finished top 4, extend that 2+1 year and already work on getting Nagelsmann in 2026. So I would already say that whoever gets Nagelsmann will be 10 steps forward. Manchester City perhaps would be looking at Nagelsmann, I would say, after Guardiola. Manchester United, if things don't work out, will be looking for Julian Nagelsmann. So these 2 clubs, I'm sure, would be looking for Julian Nagelsmann. Even a very great analyst and a good friend of mine who supports Arsenal, even with such an amazing performance of Arsenal in 2 seasons, challenging Manchester City, but he said, I'll sack Arteta and go for Nagelsmann to go to that next level. So I think I could not have, wrapped the greatness, the potential of Julian Nagelsmann. And I honestly think it's a huge, huge miss for Chelsea Football Club. Moving ahead, 1 hour, 55 minutes remaining. All eyes on England, on the Three Lions, our beloved England, with Conor Gallagher, Cole Palmer, the legendary Cole Palmer, and the Cobham boy, Conor Gallagher. We hope both of them gets a start. And during the stream, we will know the starting lineup before we end the show, before the start of the live game. Harry Kane says, I love playing for England. It means the world to me, and winning a major tournament would be one of the pinnacles of anyone's career. So, Sir Harry Kane, I know you're a great striker. You didn't win anything with Spurs. You didn't win anything with Bayern Munich. And a lot of fans, I was coming 2-3 days ago in the taxi, and the driver was from London. I was talking to him and he said, I don't want Harry Kane to play for England. He brings a curse. He is cursed. I know this is perhaps a joke, but he has not won. The many players in England playing for City, playing for different clubs, have won different tournaments, leagues, FA Cups, Carabao Cups, some European tournaments, like Declan Rice, Harry Kane. I know, with Aguero, the best forward in the Premier League of the last 10 years. But he has not won anything. A lot of English fans think, as good as he is, because they have so much pace, so many potential, people like Palmer, Sancho, many other potential players might not even start for England. Why not have a fluid system and not necessarily play Kane? Garvin, is Kane an obstacle for England?
I don't think the players are the obstacle for England, to be quite honest. I think the obstacle for England is the media. You know, the media in England is what that England cannot reach their main potential, because if you notice, like every other nation, when their national team is playing, they fully support. You know, they try to cover up every negativity that there is, and they try to rally behind the teams and try to support the team. But the England team is just, it's always have to do something, you know, with some, which, you know, I don't want to say right here on this platform, you know, but you know, it's kind of like what coming out with Saka in the media recently. It's not supporting your players. It's trying to put doubts in your players even before a tournament. You know, there's no other nation that's preparing for a tournament and use they start to pick up stuff from way back. Scotland, yeah, Andy, big up Andy. Um, yeah, so therefore, what I'm saying, you know, it's not a good look. And England media and most of the supporters are the ones that fail England, not really the players, because the golden generation, you know, the rival that they bring into the game. You know, look at the one of the biggest rival you can ever think about is River Plate and Boca Junior, right? River Plate, Boca Junior. That's a rival that's in Argentina. That people got killed during game times in those games. The rival is huge over there in Boca Junior. I don't know if you know much about the River Plate and Boca Junior rival, the Argentina league. I used to watch a lot of leagues, especially before I get kids. Like I used to watch all the leagues across the world. I can tell you about all the leagues. You go to Chile, you got Colo Colo, and Club Colo Colo was one of the most dominated team over there. The rival over there was humongous. And you go to Brazil, you got the Sao Paulo and Corinthian. You know, those are some big derbies that, you know, it's really tense. You know, and what happened is when they go to their national team, you know, my point is when they go to their national team, they all come together and support. And that's what I think is England's biggest downfall in every tournament that they go. The players feel the rival because when they reach at the national team, they think that, you know, because the rival is so big at club level, and if me and Rio Ferdinand turn friends, you know, the John Terry, it's gonna create a big problem between our fan base. So if England can get the divide out of the national team, and with the supporters start to support as supporters, England can go a far way, because I'm not gonna lie to you, England got probably the second or the third best team in the world. No doubt. You got France that have talent, stockpile and talent, right? You got the German have a big downfall, you know, for a couple of years. German was way, 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 way out of it. The Italians still haven't recruit yet after their golden generation. Same thing with the German. You know, Belgium, their golden generation just like died out. They're trying to build a new one. So England got a team, a young team that stick together, you know, for so long. But it's just the politics and all the rest of stuff that's keep England from being successful.
Yeah, very well said. The media pressure is a lot. I get that, but I get that, but I would like to know your thoughts, sir. Your thoughts on one missing piece of the puzzle of with this English national team. You said they are perhaps the second or third best team in the world on paper. I would go as far. I know it's a big call. It's probably absurd. It's maybe insanity to someone. I think on paper, man to man, given the 11 players, the first 11, I think they have the best squad in the world, better than France. France, or very much near France. France has 4 5 players that are absolutely the best in the world, 3 to 4 at least. But if you see the 11 players, or even if you go for in the depth with 15, 16, 17, England has better players, in my opinion. Honestly, if you see the forward, the midfield, the wings, the defensive midfielders, I think England has it covered. They have as good as a player in every position. The only, I won't say weak, but the only link which is not up there as good as a France, as good as a Holland, is the defensive lineup. That's the only piece which is not really that good. It is good, but not really up there. But apart from that, if you see from the deep midfielders, the central midfielders to all the way to the forwards, I think England has the best players in each position. As I said, even their substitutes are better than other teams. So, having said that, Gavin, Gareth Southgate is under a lot of criticism, especially by the Three Lions, by the English fans. Although he went to the semi-final of the World Cup in 2018, lost to Croatia when Croatia made a huge comeback, one of the biggest comeback in modern football in the World Cup. He lost on penalties in the last Euros to Italy. Some people say, okay, it was penalty, but the other section of the analysts or the critics say, why did it even go to the penalties? England were that good against, on paper, against Italy. They should have won the game and not defended all game at home at Wembley. So, with the team, you say top two, top three. I say on paper the best team in the world, or the best second best team. Maybe if it is France, the best or the second best team in the world, at the least on paper. The $1 million question. So, what's your take, your analysis on Gareth Southgate? Is the criticism worth? Is it legit? Or do you think he's doing a good job?
It for me, it breaks down simple for me with Gareth Southgate. For me, he is similar to our ex. As what Dante normally said. Dante normally said our ex. So he's similar to our ex. He's good to build something, but at the end of the day, you need more than just to build something. You need to finish something. Just building it without doing the final, you know, the final pieces, and put it together and finish it, sand it down nice and properly, to cross the line. It won't work. And that's what England should have recognized from a few years ago, especially after the World Cup. They should have taken Happy Father's Day, brother. If you're a dad, man, happy Father's Day. Sorry, it was indefinite. It was, yeah. So what I'm saying is, it's for me. It's they should have get rid of him from then. They shouldn't give him the opportunity right now to be to be here at this Euro. They should have find someone else to take them across the line, a winner. And Southgate is not a winner. He's just a foundation builder, just like our ex. He can build a proper foundation, and I think if England does not prevail in this World Cup coming up, it definitely will be his fault because, as I said, on paper, the players that they got to their disposal, your Jack Grealish couldn't make the squad. Your Madison, where they said he's the best playmaker in England. Your Rashford is one of the best attacker, you can think of worldwide, like speed, direct. He's the handful, and he still couldn't make the team. So that to show you the quality they got. You got your likes of Palmer, you got the likes of Foden. Name it. England got it. Saka. So Harry Kane, Ollie Watkinson, that score how many goals and how many assists. Declan Rice, one of the best DM in the world. The only place I see where they kind of a little bit dodgy is probably the defensive, not at the right back or the left back, because you got two great right back that can play both sides. So that to show you the goalkeeper, he never really failed at the international level. For England, he always come through. So you can see that the team is there, can compete against any team, but the manager is just the one that's gonna fail
Hmm. Yes, I mean, I agree. I really agree to the critics that he is perhaps not the right guy. It's a little technical if you see and analyze. Let's see what Indefinite has to say. Let's see Indefinite from Las Vegas. The guy is a winner. Indefinite is a winner, and he will never, just like me, compromise on mediocrity or I mean, he won't compromise on greatness, right? And go for mediocrity. He wanted Flick, he wanted Amorim, he even wanted Nagelsmann. So he want the best for Chelsea Football Club. So let's see what he has to say. Southgate is not a winner. Some managers are like that. So he completely agree with you, Sir Govan. He completely agree with you. I respect Allegri, but he has never won the bunny ears. Certain managers and players just can win no matter what. Kane is another one. Yes, as I was talking about Kane, that many English fans think that Kane should not even be a part of the team anymore because there's some bad luck, always bottle stuff with Spurs, even with the legendary, iconic Bayern Munich with Tuchel, he could not win the Champions League. Okay, Champions League is not given each year. We know Guardiola also won after 9 years. No, after 12 years when he last won with Barca. It took him 12 years. He did not win the Bundesliga, the league in Germany. He did not win the cup. And they finished third. That means he would not even play the Community Shield or whatever the exact title is of that equivalent in Germany. So he won't even win the cup in August, Govan, because it's not Bayern Munich versus Bayer Leverkusen. And he missed the penalty against France. He missed so many chances in the last Euros. Although he scored a lot of goals, like in the group stage, he would score goal. He would be number one on the chart. But in the quarterfinals, semifinals, he would miss. Same against Croatia, same against Italy, against France, as I said. He had a tremendous opportunity in the World Cup. I remember a great 1-1. He almost missed that. He could not hit the target. But of course, he's a great player if you see the stats. As good as Sergio Aguero in the last 10 years in England. But Aguero has won multiple leagues, right? And even somehow, I don't know what it was that the Argentine had him registered officially. He even lifted the World Cup. That was funny, by the way, Garvin, that Sergio Aguero lifted the World Cup with Argentina. I was saying Germany, with Argentina. So Southgate, I see a lot of people opinion, and of course I agree with Indefinite, I agree with you, because this team is the best team, I say, in the world, the best English talent, iconic English talent. You need a Flick or a Nagelsmann. for this English team, you need what I'm trying to say. You need the English team to attack, right, Govan? This team is built on attacking football. At least what I can see, what
Yeah,
I understand, this team's strength is attacking football. They have the pace, they have the wingers, they have an amazing quality. But he plays such a defensive football. Many wingers and midfielders won't make. Even who knows, Cole Palmer might not start. Gallagher, you know, Sancho, and many other players. So the thing is that he plays a lot defensive. But some of the people who defend him, they say that when he took over England, England were nowhere. So they only see that he managed to take them from a round of 16 quarterfinal team to a regular, say, a semi-final team or even a final in the last Euro. So he took them one or two steps ahead. But again, England versus Italy was for the taking, right? England versus France again. The setup was wrong in the last World Cup. England could have defeated France in that game, but they were so negative that all their attacking powers, their tools, their players, they could not do anything because they were defending all the time and were hoping on a quick counter attack. So England could again start well with a relatively easier group. Maybe would go on, win the round of 16. But if they clash against Germany, France, Spain, Holland, Netherlands, Portugal, I have a strong feeling that the end again might be near for England. I really don't think so that they have what it takes to win the round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, final. Any team who has to win this tournament, of course, has to qualify for a round of 16, which they should. Any good team should. But from round of 16 to final, mathematically, you have to win 4 games in a row without missing. 4 straight victories. The only way Southgate can do that is because he plays such a defensive football, somehow take a few games to the penalties and be lucky. That's all I can see. I think Germany, France, Netherlands will be too strong for it, for England, as far as their managers setting the team tactically, try to get the best out of England. And one last thing, Garvin, which I don't like about Gareth Southgate. I saw his interview yesterday on ITV, and it was asked, now what is the expectation? He has already went to the semi-final of the World Cup, the final of Euros, with the best English team in the last 20 years. The last time the English team was this good, not even this good, was with Lampards and Gerrards and John Terrys and Wayne Rooney's when they were playing together, right, Govan, at the peak. But he said, no, the team is still young. Literally, he said that. I'm paraphrasing. We would take a game at a time. I don't want to put too much pressure on them. I did not like that. Even our ex never said anything like that. He said, I have to protect them. They are young. They are still learning. And I said, man, the team you have, being asked the question, do you think you can go and win the final? You say, the team is young. We have to see a game at a time. I don't want to put too much pressure on my players. Gavan, what do you have to say? I was utterly disappointed. This is not the winning mentality. Gavan, please go ahead.
yeah, that's what I was saying earlier for me because as what indefinite is saying, like for me, once you touch that pitch, the pressure have to be on because you have to deliver. You have to have one mindset when you're playing this game. It's about winning because the game is all about winning. The game is not about losing. It's all about winning. For me, a 3 points is better than 1 point, to be quite honest, or no point at all. So if you're gonna play this game, and as a manager, if you're gonna coach this game, you're gonna always coach to win. You're gonna always let your team go for it, especially in a tournament, because the end of the day is penalty don't sleep at nobody's house. Like anything can happen, And even when we lose that final against Liverpool, when they were settling for penalties, like go for the game, kill the game. If you lose in the last minute of the game, like no one can say nothing because at least you go for it. But if you're gonna surrender and go for a penalty, where anything can happen. Just like in the final with John Terry, one slip when he walked up. We would have won many Champions League if we did cross that hurdle from that time, from that day. That would have given us a bigger boost because we would have bigger players come to Chelsea. We could attract every players across the world. We wouldn't right now be competing with Real Madrid for talent if we were that penalty that night with Nicolas Anelka and John Terry slipped. A lot of things didn't go our way in those times. So that to show you, you play to win the game. You don't play for penalties. And that's what I think is one of the biggest problems that England face today. And for me, even Harry Kane, when you were saying about Harry Kane, now they have Cole Palmer. Hopefully they give him the penalty because his debut, he take a penalty and a lot of senior player was there, but they allowed him to take the penalty and he take it before Harry Kane come on and he slotted away, very calm and cool as Cole Palmer done. And with Harry Kane, if Cole Palmer is on the pitch, I would have turned over the penalty duty to Cole Palmer because he tend to fail the England team when it comes to that part. And the part what I was saying earlier, either too, like Harry Kane missed penalty against France that could have take England, to the final and even win it. And he don't get the backlash that your Saka and Sancho get in the media. So that's what I'm saying is favoritism, that's keeping back England before we even move on from England topic. The favoritism gonna hold England back in every aspect of the game because the unbiasedness is gonna always bring a lot of doubts. Gonna bring a lot of doubts, especially even the players. You attack a player like Saka before a tournament when you should have been talking about all the positivity. They're talking about is happen each time you come off the pitch. All those little things, like what's that's gonna bring? What's that's gonna bring to a team like England? The player already go there with a mentality. If I miss the next penalty in a shootout, they're gonna crucify me. Not to say they will, but you know what I'm saying. So right there, the player already got doubt in his mind because you bring it up 1 week. They bring it up on the Friday and they travel to Germany on the Monday. So that to show you, it's just a couple of days before the player leave to prepare for a tournament. So if England did fail, it would be on England and not only just on the. I'm not saying the players. I'm talking about England as a nation.
Yes, I agree with you. They have a brilliant chance. It's now or never. Of course, 2026 is not far, but that tournament is in US and Canada, right, Govan?
And Mexico.
It will be difficult for England because of the weather. It's a very technical point. We can discuss on that. It will be more difficult for England. They suffer in hot weather more than any other European team. This is what the history is. They really suffer. They are not that. I know it's even cooler in Germany, in other places, but the English players historically have suffered a lot. In South Africa World Cup, I remember 2010 about the weather condition. They were not able to deal with it. The Germans were. Somehow they are not well adapted, well equipped with the weather conditions. I think they will be on the back foot with the weather. I can already see that with the whole tournament. And of course, when they play such an intense league, especially most of the English players playing in England, and then after 10 months of Premier League, 9.5 months of Premier League, going straight after 2 weeks to the World Cup with this big difference in the weather, they suffer. They have already suffered in South Africa, as I said, in US, in 94 in Qatar, even though they had in the winter, but they had a huge issue with the weather. So wherever it is hot, England is already on the back feet. So their best bet is to win something in the next 4 years is now, right now, in Germany, in the 2024 Euros. But I believe France, Germany, Netherlands, these three teams, they have a better chance than England. Although England has a better squad than Germany and Netherlands, but as we know historically and also currently, they are known for bottling the tournaments. They have had great talent, as I said the last time, even in 90s with the Beckhams and all the players, Michael Owen, and then the peak Wayne Rooney, Lampard, Gerrard, John Terry. They somehow could not do it. They would be favorites or the top three favorites of the tournament, many tournaments, Garvin. And yes, we are covering England more, a lot of coverage. One reason is the game is in 86 minutes from now, and secondly because most of the audience, because of Chelsea, have association or a link with England, so that is why we are giving it such a coverage. So before we move ahead, what are your thoughts about England, Serbia? Do you think a comfortable victory is what England desire this evening? I think you are mute, sir.
My bad, my bad, my bad. It's gonna be a tough group because Denmark is a really defensive. They're solid defensively. Slovenia, they look threatening, especially that Benjamin Sesko kid. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just watch him rattle the crossbar from about 20, 35 yards out. This guy is a lethal shooter. And not gonna say that England not gonna come out of the group, but they're gonna have to step their game up if they want to come out of the group. So honestly, England gonna get out of the group, but it's gonna be between them and Denmark to see who finished first and second overall. But Slovenia is not a team. They just equalized too, as I'm talking about it. So it's 1-1 right now. So that to show you the team that they're going up against. And as I
Yes,
just was,
one. Everyone who is interested, sorry, sir, to give the update. As you said, Garvin, you broke it live on the stream. Someone who is watching the GFC Garvin live Euro 2024 podcast transmission, discussing Germany, discussing Nagelsmann, discussing England. It's 1-1 as we speak. 79 minutes. Slovenia 1, Denmark 1. Sir, please go ahead.
yeah. So I'm trying to show you that this Euro is not going to be a walkover like England normally just go through and qualify easily for the second round. They're going to have to come with an A game because look at Spain. Look at Spain, and not only Spain, look at Croatia. How Spain played Croatia off the park yesterday. All of these games, the Netherlands and Poland, to see those games, the games are really tight because defensively, every team are playing well. So it's going to be a tough task for England if they want to get out of this group. They're going to have to, not because Cole Palmer is a Chelsea player, they're going to have to use Jude Bellingham as an 8 with Declan Rice and probably Cole Palmer in the 10 to support them. Not saying it's because of is a Chelsea boy, but your Kobe Manu and all of them. If England go with a lineup without the likes of a Joe Bellingham, beside a Declan Rice, or Declan Rice sitting deep with 2 8s, like I see where they can get exposed defensively. So guys gonna have to do something technical, with his team right now as you watch the group, because these team in this group, they're not team that you can easily walk over.
Exactly. That will be tough, but I still expect England to go because we know in the six groups that we have, because it will be a round of 16. So two from each group, two into six, 12 teams, and then four top teams, top three teams. So that will give a lot of leverage. Even if you screw up, you can still be third, and you have to be in the top four of the six three-place teams to qualify, if that makes sense, depending on the goal average, the points. So even if England doesn't top the group, I don't see them struggling that much because this is the least what we can expect from England, right? The least to get out of this group. If they don't get out of this group, it will be disastrous, right? And no one is expecting that England will go out in the first round. We all want great teams like England, like Spain, Portugal, Italy, and the Netherlands, France, Germany, maybe Belgium to all progress so we can have delicious games from round of 16, quarterfinal, semi-final, final. We want England, Germany. We want England to take on France. We want to see Germany versus France. We want to see Portugal versus Netherlands. We want to see a Germany France final or a Germany England final. So we want, in that context, as a neutral, right, Galvin, to see these teams go ahead so we can have the delightful first and second week of July of our lifetime. And we would have to see, I would love to see Germany versus England, because for sure, no one can say that German team on paper is better than England. England team is much ahead of Germany. Right, Garvin? On paper. But I have to see then Julian Nagelsmann versus England is something I would like to see. France, perhaps, I think we have to, perhaps, I mean, we will, we don't have to, everyone has their own choice. We will agree, based on the last 8 years, they are perhaps the best team in the world. Even though they did not win the last World Cup, but in the last 8 years, France is. And they did not win the Euros when they hosted in 2016, right? They lost to Portugal, but they were definitely, even if you lose the knockout tournament, because it's sometimes you lose a game, but they were the best team in 2016, right? According to my understanding and observation, Portugal won the tournament, but France were the best team. 2018 World Cup, they won. They already won that tournament, being the best team. 2021, of course, Italy won the tournament, and the World Cup, 2022 World Cup in Qatar. I believe France were the best team, even the better team. Although 70 odd minutes, Argentina dominated, and then after that, the last 15 minutes of the full time and the extra time, it was rock and roll, and Kylian Mbappe played amazing. So yes, Argentina perhaps on the day deserve, but I think if you have a best of 5 series, if you understand, France would beat Argentina most likely, in that series. So France definitely the favorites of the tournament. But does that mean they'll win it? Who knows? It doesn't guarantee it. Germany is perhaps the third or fourth best team in this tournament. Even people are saying third or fourth because they've defeated Scotland, and not just Scotland, because it's of course not the greatest team in the world, but the way Germany played, it's like no one expected that. I literally, my energy, my mental health, my all the pain, suffering finished watching Germany in that game, because Hansi Flick, one of the best managers in the world, suffered with this German team. But in 8 months, Julian Nagelsmann set them up, and it was brilliant. I was like, I haven't seen anything in the Premier League like that, the way Germany played against Scotland. So France, definitely the favorites. Now, Garvin, I'll share something and have your take. We have given a lot of time to England because of course the fans. love to talk about England. They would like to know what's going on. The game is coming as well. Now let's talk about the game. I know you texted me from your work. You could not resist when Spain demolished Croatia. You told me, sir, keep an eye on Spain. The way they are performing, you had to leave your work multiple times. Even the boss and the management called you twice, but you could not resist watching Spain. And our boy Cucurella, Marc Cucurella, happy Father's Day, boss Coachella. Coachella's favorite, who always advocated for Cucurella instead of Chilwell. He was what a performance he had. So overall, Gavin, because our lovely, our beloved horse, I would say, a working horse, Cucurella, it was magic to see him. Spain were brilliant against Croatia. So Spain versus Croatia, what are your thoughts and your thoughts on Cucurella and Spain moving forward?
Spain and Croatia. What a performance from those two little kid. I don't call him a kid because he said he still have to do his homework. Lamal, like what a talent. William, what a talent. Marco Corella, what a performance. Marco Corella seems like he's a new man born. Like he new man have found himself. And honestly, I know that we all say France is the favorite, but you cannot sleep on Spain. As what Indefinite said earlier, you got France, Spain, Germany, and Portugal are all solid. I will call the final France versus Germany, but it's going to be a close call if Spain can keep up this form, even though Roglic should have get a red card, because if you're going to give a penalty in that manner, it should be a red card. But overall, it's a good look from me on the part of Spain. We haven't seen France yet, so Monday we will see France, because France do got one of our little magician is back in the France team, N'Golo Kante. So let us see what they brings tomorrow. But Marco Corella, he's a man. Show me that we can sell Ben Chilwell, to be quite honest. He's been performing consistent, not just for this game, but for the last 7 games of the season or 8 games of the season. Marco Corella keep performing. And if we can get this Marco Corella next season, oh boy, good things are coming.
Yeah, he has improved significantly, especially as in his inverted role, and also the system in Spain suits him, which would be not the same, but still a lot similar with the possession based close range passing, which would, I think, is really good. I was really looking at that game and I was thinking about Enzo Maresca and his style. I said, oh, we talked about a lot of things. We perhaps I forgot to mention in one of the podcasts. I think Cucurella would suit this style of play. And I mean, his work rate, we always talk about Conor Gallagher's work rate, right? And rightly so. But if anyone who can match or even supersede the work rate, that's why I said horse in a good way, of course, a lovely working horse. It's the work rate of Cucurella, his passing ability. I remember boss Coachella asked me to host the legendary guy himself on a shot to ask him about Chilwell or Cucurella. And he, at that time, before anyone said, he said his passing lane, he can always find that guy. He has the knack of knowing the moment, the position. He will always have the correct pass. And in that context, there is no match. So months ago, when Chilwell was not even supported a lot by the Chelsea fans, they had questions. Chelsea perspective, Coachella, the final boss himself, in that historic shot said those things which we now can see. The man said it before anyone actually saw that, or we had a good sample size of it. So hats off to the legendary Coachella for identifying the talent, his strength, and why he is the right pick as left back. Amazing work, Coachella. So, Calvin, to the audience who are watching the show live, maybe if they have not, they are not able to watch the game. What is the update of Denmark, Slovenia, if some of the viewers might be interested?
Yeah, it's still on 1-1. 1 minute to go plus added on time. So it seems like it's gonna finish with a point each. That's why I was saying that England definitely have to get a 3 points today if they want to finish on top of the group to avoid one of those big boys. But so far, England have to come out all gun blazing today. A draw won't help their situation because these two teams that they're coming up against next, they're very solid defensively. So for me, it have to be a win-win situation. And for me, when you start a tournament, the way you start the tournament always, decided how you finish in that group. So they have to look for a strong start today. They're gonna have to put the best team out. Honestly.
I
Yeah.
agree with you.
Uh,
It's
got Cucurella
Yeah,
put
please go
never
ahead.
in the mud. in the Yeah, he definitely do though. He definitely done.
Yeah, so unfortunately, these things always spoil. So according to the reports on Daily Mail, we can see the hooliganism makes shameful return to the Euros just hours before England's clash. So there are a lot of issues. We don't want to promote that, but of course we have to share with the audience whatever the news is coming. It's getting a little out of hands. Hope it won't affect the start of the game. But there are many tweets and reports that there are a lot of fans that are arrested, a lot of bust up. It's a little bit bloody. That's how I can recap. Unfortunately, this is, I'm sure, no matter which country you're from, there are only a very few section of those fans. We know that 99, 98% of the fans love to go there for a good purpose, positive purpose. But some fans perhaps could be from Manchester United or Arsenal. I don't know. I'm just saying no Chelsea fan would do that, right? So some of the British fans, I don't know, Manchester United fans or Arsenal fans are still mourning of not winning the league, or Spurs fans, I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm just guessing. They are spoiling the occasion. So, Gavin, what would you like to say? Uh, any positive message? Because you are a person who would always come up with the right words to anyone who is listening. And all the viewers are peace loving viewers because this is important. It can change the life and the mindset of fan moving forward. We don't want any fan to do these things before the game. So any message as historic message, no matter if one person can take advantage of your message with all these nonsense and these things in a very beautiful tournament, 5 6 games, amazing games we have seen, and already we have these clashes. What is your message to the fans? How they should look at the games and conduct themselves?
Yeah. You know. A lot of people have to understand football fans overall and in general life. Like these stuff is unnecessary because whatever you do in life, it's sometimes it be make it's consequence. Most of life lesson. For me, I would say to the fans, football was built, or soccer. If you're in the U.S., it's they call it soccer here, and in Europe it's football. It was a tournament that built way back in the days to be a peace treaty, you know, to end violence. So The game was built on a peace ground. So if you guys are traveling towards a soccer game or football game, doesn't matter, where you're from across the world, they build it to bring people together, to unite the world. And that's what it done. I used to live in a third world country, and I can never forget this day. And I'm gonna share it on this platform with you guys. The first time, you guys can look it up, the Jamaican national team qualified for a FIFA World Cup was 1998. And I see with my two eyes what that qualification have done for that small nation, that's Jamaica, where for about 2 weeks there was no violence, crime across the whole entire country. In the history of the country, it was violence free because of Jamaica qualified for the World Cup. Everyone put down their guns, their knives, or whatever tools, and everyone was partying, celebrating, cheering the boys on, marching, got two pat cover, knocking together, making music, making noise. It was one of the greatest time of my life, to see and witness something like that. That is a moment that live with me forever. When I go to a soccer field to play soccer or football, because we don't know who's listening right now, if he's from the US, or I'm gonna tell you, it done something magnificent for me. All stress went away. You forget your problems when you're playing soccer. So when you go to tournaments, just go to enjoy yourself. Win, lose, or draw. Like, meet new people. Try to collaborate with other nation. Try to understand other culture. Every culture is different. When you go to stuff like that, enjoy. Go to enjoy it. Forget about the negativity. Stop put too much passion. As I was saying earlier about England, if England fail, it's gonna be because of the people and the nation on a whole. It's not gonna be because of the team, because you're gonna have to learn to forget about the rival. Rival and banter is there, and it's something that you take with a smile, because when your team is up, you do the same thing. When your team is down, you accept it. The game, when the game was built, they say that England formed the football overall, right? And the German to do some peace treaty, I think, back in the days. You can correct me if I'm right or I'm wrong, because it's so long. I didn't research it back for so many years. But I can tell you, the first team to ever win a FIFA World Cup, and a lot of people don't know this, was Uruguay. Uruguay was the first team to ever lift a FIFA World Cup. Not once, but twice. Then you have the great Germany and Brazil and the Italians, and you recently got your likes of France. Even England won only one World Cup. So when you go to the games, just go to enjoy. Be with family and friends, meet new people, learn new culture. What you can take back to your culture. Enjoy yourself. Life is too short for us to be out there acting like this. A couple years ago, we got this sea thing that I don't want to talk about, come and conquer the whole entire world. A lot of family members and friends that just passed away, just like that. I remember my son got the sea thing, and my mom come to my door to drop some food off because we have to quarantine. I didn't have it, but they got it. But I have to be here taking care of them because they're my kids. And I didn't catch it. But to see I can go outside to talk to my mom, to talk to my dad. They come to my door. I have to talk to them through the screen door, and they're dropping food off at my door. And I saw the tears running out of my mom's eyes. That showed me that life is too short. Enjoy it while you can. Give thanks for what you got. And that's life, because there's a lot of people right now today, is they're used to be here with us. They're here no more. So what we're gonna do, we're not gonna act like no fools out here. We have to act like a human being. We have to appreciate each other, acknowledge each other. Doesn't matter if you're a different culture or not. Appreciate what you got in front of you. We got the beautiful game to sit down and relax and watch. The guys out there, they're willing to go out there and play to entertain us. Why you can't go and enjoy it? If you go into the game, just go to enjoy what you love. If you love the game, go enjoy it. If you don't love the game, stay home. If you don't love to see other people or other nation, go lock yourself away in a can and roll yourself down a hill. If that's what you want to do, you don't see no one at all. Like, go and enjoy yourself. Go and have fun. Because as I said, life is too short. You can hear today and tomorrow you're gone. You have to set example in life. Lead by example. I saw the thing and I saw it earlier and it pissed me off. I saw a game yesterday and it was who played yesterday again? The Italian
Italy, Albania.
Albania. And I saw the fans was there bantering with each other. The Italian fans go on his knees and the noodles, the Albanian fans get the noodles and they walk over like they were gonna fight. They weren't fighting, they were playing. They broke up the noodles and threw it all over the place and said, that's all we're gonna break you. Those are the things I want to see. I'll watch it like 4 or 5 times because it was funny to me. And so all the fans started to cheer on after that. That's what the game's supposed to be. You're supposed to go to enjoy yourself. You're not supposed to be going and wondering if something's gonna happen. You're supposed to go sit comfortable because out there in the world it's not easy. That's a place where you go get a peace of mind. Go enjoy it.
Very well said. A great speech, giving your own example, importance of life, struggle, respect, family, dignity, welfare of the society. You covered it all, Garvin. Unbelievable speech. I learned a lot from it. I learned a lot from it. Thank you so much.
I don't know if you want to go for indefinite question before we go to that topic.
Absolutely. Indefinite, sir. Absolutely. From Las Vegas, Nevada, the guy who wants Flick Nagelsmann wants the best. Football is absolute understanding and sacrifice. Just like life, think about what these footballers sacrifice to play the game we love to see. Think about what the fans that pay their money to support. Unbelievable, historic message. Rich money makers. After watching the live game, you missed our live telecast. We started the telecast an hour or 24 minutes ago. I know we started it in the middle of Denmark, Slovenia, so we can finish before the historic Three Lions game. So anyway, sir, you are so important and your support is instrumental. Welcome, sir, to the show. Hope you had 6 to 8 teaspoon of sugar already. So please take off your health. Not too much sugar, sir. No, it's not good. But you are free to enjoy the way you want. There are fears from a lot of people that we might have another. Oops, I won't read that. You won't about his channel. With all due respect, we understand, but this is a little too much, right? To rich money makers, this is not acceptable by the YouTube policy. So please take care. We might get in trouble. So I appreciate your understanding. Indefinite says, I agree, Garvin. I agree. Garvin, lead with love and understanding. Yes, Garvin history, Garvin's life, his hard work is an example to everyone here. This is what football is about. It is the human expression of passion. So before we quickly check, or you can check as well if the English lineup is out there, but Gary Neville has offended a lot of Chelsea fans. I'm sure you know that. On Cucurella saying, I think he is one of the reasons we think Spain probably can't go all the way. What is this, Garvin? The main person who represents England in the media, Gary Neville, unfortunately, I would say, a Manchester United icon, but he is the voice of England. He is saying that Cucurella could be the reason for Spain not doing well in this cup. Any quick words and thoughts on Gary Neville's take on our beloved Cucurella?
Gareth Neville. Um, I'm gonna say this. A lot of fans like the Liverpool, Manchester United, Arsenal, Tottenham. Who else I'm missing? Not really Man City, but a lot of these former players. Chelsea put a big dent in their dreams because Manu
Liverpool.
was Liverpool. Yeah, Manu was they always dominating before Chelsea come along, and soon as Chelsea come along, all their domination went away. So Chelsea gonna always be a very hated club overall. Doesn't matter what we do, what we say, we're gonna always, get these hatreds from a lot of rival. They ain't gonna always talk bad about Chelsea. One or few maybe say something good, but majority of them want Chelsea project to fail because they never see it before, and that's what they're painting in all the Chelsea supporters' mind. To let us think that it's failing, but to rebuild a team, and Chelsea team did really need a rebuild, and we did wish they did it wrongfully because they did it overall one time, where it's gonna take a little bit of time to gel. When it gel, and it will work if we get the right manager to take us across the line. Enzo is the man. We don't know when the season start. We will know. But Nagelsmann, you can always swallow your pride and go back over there. If and Aria Amorin, if it doesn't work out, in that way, are the same Flick, because Flick only got a 2-year contract at Barcelona. Even your Xavi is out there. So with Garrett Neville and them, to be quite honest, I don't really listen to them, because all I know that is, if you listen to all those former players that's on Talk Sports, and your rest of what do you call it, Sky Sports. If you listen to all of them, you're gonna always, start to rethink and question yourself. So I don't want to question myself too much. So honestly, I don't go deep into their into whatever they print about Chelsea. Sometimes I will see it and I act like I don't see it, because I know for a fact that Chelsea players gonna always get eight, and eight is something that we cannot hide from. We're gonna have to accept it. Rich money maker.
The lineup is out. Garvin, go ahead and talk about the lineup. England versus Serbia.
So I guess Chippy are gonna play at left back. Walker, oh, that that's one of
No
my
Gallagher, no Palmer, both on the bench.
that's one of my biggest concern, because I know for a fact that he was gonna go for this lined up, and remember I was telling you earlier, Alexander, he don't give you much defensive cover. You know, probably they underestimate the team a little bit. Maybe not. Let us see what's gonna happen. But if they're underestimating, Slovenia, they would be in for a rude awakening, to be quite honest. Because right now, I think they should have went for a little bit more attacking aspect. You're gonna have Declan Rice sitting beside that guy from Liverpool.
Yeah,
He's not
this is the bench.
Yeah, he's not good defensively. So what are your intention right there? That's my biggest point with England. I don't know what they're trying to do. They're gonna use Declan Rice as a sold holding midfielder. Let us see. So it's very interesting, to be quite honest. I don't know
Yeah,
what you
I mean,
think
it
about.
can of course work for this game, but again, not really. I would say the choice, and maybe we could be a little bit biased, maybe because we were expecting the Chelsea players to play. I was even expecting Mino, the performance, the season that he had with Manchester United. Why he is not trusting these great players, Cole Palmer, even Luke Shaw. I mean, I don't know, like why he is going for the players, the other options. Of course, we cannot doubt Bellingham, Declan Rice, but still, and Phil Foden, of course. Harry Kane is the captain. Again, a lot of people think he should not be as given just because he's the captain. Of course, a great player, but I don't know. There is a lot of talent we can see. El Dunk, of course, Gallagher, Palmer, as I said, Mino, Wright, Gordon, Ole Watkins, right? So many great options, Gorbin. So many great options. As we can see, six players that I mentioned at least would more or less could start in the first 11. The 5 6 players have a great case that are on the bench, could start for a Germany team, for a Netherlands team. Even some of them, 3 4 players that are on the bench, could even start for France. So Gavin, is Gareth Southgate too rigid? And is he perhaps going to be the reason? As Gary Neville says, Korea will be the reason if Spain will not progress. Are the early signs and the past patterns and again an indication that Gareth Southgate, we were talking about Nagelsmann, you were telling me and the audience how versatile he is. He don't have certain formation, he don't have his preferred players. But Gareth Southgate is a traditional 70s, 80s coach with the same philosophy, the same players. He would not go for such talented players that are on the bench. Carvin, this is difficult to take. Can you make a footballing case out of it?
Honestly, I can, because even you bring Luke Shaw that doesn't play the last 15 games for Manchester United, but he's in the squad. So that to show you that this coach doesn't know exactly what he wants, and he don't know. The best thing I see about it is he definitely for the first time go by where he pick players on form than really players that's on name that he normally used to. So this time around, I can give him the benefit of the doubt because he picked few players, off form instead
So,
of.
so Saka over Palmer on the right wing, you think is justified? I'm
on
asking. I'm just asking.
on
Saka
form
over Cole Palmer.
on international wise. I can understand why you probably pick Saka over Parma, because Saka is more acquainted to international tournaments. I probably wouldn't start Palmer either. Not because he's a Chelsea player, but Saka already been there and done it. You know, is he on more form than Palmer? No, but for Chelsea's sake, and my sake, and my peace of mind, I would rather he start Saka and take Palmer can come off the bench. Especially if the game don't go well, and make an impact, and then cement himself in the
And
squad.
another, I mean, we are not trying to, of course, at to our best. Could be a little bit biased, of course, but I think Palmer had an outstanding season. But you very well said, because of the experience that already he has, not too much, but still some experience with the team. But the form that Cole Palmer is in, I don't think so. You would like to drop him, right? And another case again could be made for Conor Gallagher to play alongside Declan Rice instead of Trent Alexander. What do you think on that?
That's why Chet Alexander. That's my biggest my biggest concern, because he's not good defensively. And I've only Declan Rice there. That's where the problem come in for me, because Chet Alexander is not a well defended player. He's good going forward and he's good. But if Declan Rice can be the lone sitter and get a little bit of cover, then it would be a big plus. But I would have thought Gallagher, to be honest. Mark Gay is his first real tournament. He's been around the England squad, but this is probably one of his first tournaments. So that's what I'm saying. Like, he made the choice, but I'm just wondering if he make it in the way that he think deeply about it.
And some may argue, but of course, Harry Kane is the captain, but Ollie Watkins on the bench. But this at least shows to what we were discussing, the depth the English squad has. Watkins, Gallagher, Kopama, Maino, who has an outstanding season. I think one of the best young players out there, not making the starting 11. All right. So, yes, for today, England should be strong enough against a decent Serbia team, even though there are some question marks. But the talent on the pitch is overwhelming. It's unbelievable. Even though we perhaps not agree with 2 or 3 choices, Bellingham, right? Rice, Kane, Saka, Stones, Walker. I mean, this truly is a generational English team. Gareth Southgate has a brilliant opportunity. Let's see what he will do in this tournament with this English team. As I said, I was not convinced at all looking looking at his interview yesterday, where to rich money makers, Coachella and indefinite if they missed the earlier part. He said, when asked chances, do you think this time England is ready? He said, no, I don't want to. I'm paraphrasing, not the exact words, but that's what he said. Don't want to put pressure on the English. I don't want to demand a lot and tell them that you have to win. This is the only option. It's a must win. He said the English players, most of them are young. So he has to look at the mental side, want them to take one game at a time. Okay, that is fine as far as planning goes. But you were not brave enough to come on the media and said, yes, we, after working with England for 8 years and having one of the best side in the world, we will try everything we can to win this tournament. We will try. But he said, no, I don't want to put the pressure. At least I don't want to say it to the players. We will see one game at a time. The team is still young. Very disappointing statement. Very, very disappointing statement. Even our ex-Poch, I think he won't make such statements, right? Government, this is next level, right? This is next level. At least our ex before the tournament will say, I would like to win the tournament, right? And after he loses, then he would say something different. But the legendary Southgate is not even saying that we have a chance, we will win, we would try to win, we have a brilliant opportunity, we'll do everything to win. No. He's saying it will put pressure on the young players. I mean, if this is the mentality, then good luck. Good luck then. Govern, anything you want to add? If you have some, you can say, insights on this Serbia team, can they be threatening? Any player to watch out for?
Mitrovic is a powerhouse. That's what I was saying. The reason why I wouldn't start Alexander there is because we know Mitrovic from the Premier League. When he was playing at Fulham, he's a very physical, you know, striker where it takes two to really get him off his game. And even then, he remind me of our former striker, Diego Costa. He's gonna rattle your defenders, and I think that you should have like a Gallagher in that midfield that can go around the pitch because you already got creativity from your likes of your what you call him, Bellingham, Drew Bellingham. So we definitely got few guys there where can be creative. So I just think that they need an extra body beside Declan Rice who can help sort out with the likes of a Mitrovic. That was one of the biggest concern for me.
Legendary Meyer. Legendary Meyer is in the house. Welcome, sir. England versus Serbia is 40 minutes away. In 20 minutes or so, we will wrap up the stream so we can go get our favorite champagne, red wine, any particular beverage we would like, a Smirnoff with some snacks and prawn crackers. Meyer, your take on this historic debut English game coming up.
Just quickly and foremost, big up guys, big up Gavin, big up Sir Jay Z. Sorry. Yeah, England. I think it's a possible win because they have experienced players. Playing today. Overall, we can't also look and overlook the other team as well because the other team they've been doing good as well. You can take a look at Dusan. He has been like extremely good for Juventus this season. So I'm just keen to look at this game and yeah, we'll see who's going to actually take this game. But I'm going for England, maybe 2-1 if they can go for it. Pretty much sure, maybe Kane will score 1, 2 goals, or maybe Bellingham will score a goal. But yeah, but if England sits, if they don't press, then that's it. But um, I'm pretty much sure that England would take it.
Meyer, how painful is that we will have to wait till the second half in the hope that we can see preferably both or at least one, if not both, Gallagher or Palmer. They are not starting this game. Chelsea fans around the world were excited to see Conor Gallagher, the workhorse, the unbelievable, talented captain of Chelsea Football Club or the captain of the last season and the best player in the league without a shadow of a doubt, Cole Palmer, both not starting. How is the feeling? I'm sure you're disappointed. And would you question Gareth Southgate for especially not starting Cole Palmer?
Yeah, I actually question that particular moment because of his outstanding performance. But as well as you can take a look at Bellingham, Bellingham has also had a great season at Real Madrid. So I also would
Yeah, I know.
also
Sorry, I did, but he is, I mean, playing in the middle. So what I understand as I was talking to Garvin, it's Saka who is playing on the right. So perhaps that is the position that he has preferred. So Saka or Palmer.
we can swap in for Saka because Cole Palmer is actually very good on that area. But as well as like I'm also questioning Southgate, but I think Southgate is trying to put more depth on the flags. So with Cole Palmer's actually he actually cuts in and he operates on the middle as well, but he can also go on the on the wide area. But with Saka, he's usually on the wide area, so he's probably it's a different type of game plan that he's trying to do with the wide area when he's also putting Foden on the other side. We shall see. Also, trade Alexander-Arnold on the middle. Understand Conor Gallagher hasn't been selected, but yeah, we shall see how the game goes. If they come inside, they should make an impact. I'm sure when Cole Palmer comes inside, he'll make an impact. I'm also very disappointed Cole Palmer hasn't been on the uh, first starting 11. So yeah, but we'll see. We'll see how they'll perform these players.
So, Meyer, which team has impressed you so far? I know it's still early days. Germany had an outstanding game. Spain, Italy had a tough game, I would say, but they are still one of the better teams. Netherlands had a win today, 2-1, a close. Any team so far impressed you, and which team do you think, or which two teams to look out for, according to your observation and analysis? Two outstanding team, in your opinion, who can win the tournament?
I could say Spain, or but as well with Spain, we have seen Croatia. They've been, they were battered 3-0 first half. So you can actually really see this. There's a lot of weakness in the middle. I've talked about this. People, they're gonna say, Croatia's still a good team. They have a chance next round. We need to see if they're actually good. But I also have to go with Germany because if we take a look at Germany, like they every area where they at like on the middle side, they're actually good. When you look at Cruz is like 32 years old and he had one of her great performances. Yeah, everyone's gonna say, alright, they had Scotland, and well, yeah, Scotland had had a decent game, but they were washed first half. But when you look at that side and you can see how Germany attacks, it's so fluid, fast, fluid. With Musiala, quick, 1-2 pass, accurate movement, all that stuff. And when compared to also Spain with the passing and possession and all that, and you compare those two teams, and you could see, okay, one they have different style of play. So you could actually probably everyone's gonna choose Spain because it's predictable, but you never know, So because you need to see how England plays, but my stand about I think Germany is it's been outstanding 5-1. It shows that okay, this team is actually good. But yeah, we have to see for the other teams as well.
And at the start of this stream, I and legendary Garvin were talking about Julian Nagelsmann, the outstanding young coach. We had a chance. We were going back, looking back at the time, we could have signed this coach. Any thoughts on, or any, you can say, looking back, we did not sign, who is of course, without a shadow of a doubt, the best young coach out there with unbelievable potential, Julian
Yeah.
Nagelsmann. So I and Gavin were gutted as much as we enjoyed German performance, but our eyes were having different lenses. Sometimes we were seeing him in the blue suit. Sometimes I saw him with the Chelsea badge standing on the touchline. And it was difficult for me to see that he is not a Chelsea head coach. So Meyer,
Mm.
any thoughts on this?
Jay-Z, sir, I think from my point of view, when I look at it, I think Nagelsmann had a different approach to Chelsea's project. I think he decided maybe he wanted his type of players where he knew that when he was coming to a club where he was not gonna get his players that he wanted. I'm sure if he came to Chelsea, he would like the players of like Musiala or players of like Ferenc Wirtz or players like the guy that was playing alongside Tony Kroos, the guy that was playing left back for Germany. I don't know his name. Those criteria players, and we have a certain type of profile the board wants, and it's only from 20 to 25, and it's young players. So I think as well, maybe they never seen, eye to eye. Probably they had meetings, but I'm sure they never saw eye to eye with the project. And I think maybe Nagelsmann was stalling us. Probably maybe Todd Bowley's like, you know what, there's other managers. Let me just go on the other side. And yeah, so we ended up, firing Poch. Then we got Maresca, but I really wanted Nagelsmann because Nagelsmann is one of them is those elite managers that can actually build a team. First season, second season, we can challenge. He can build a good team. So that's one thing, one take that I feel like we should have gotten Nagelsmann. But on the other hand, on the other approach, I think the owners were in a rush to get a manager because of Pochettino's performances or because of where we were at that particular time. So yeah, I just, I'm also gutted about. But yeah, we'll just have to see how Maresca does. So
Very well said, sir. Thank you so much for your analysis and thoughts. Garman, we have around 15 minutes. If you would like to have a longer stream, you can, of course, let us know. So please go ahead, Garvin. Anything you would like to discuss about this game or anything else? The time is near 30 minutes or so for to the
Um,
kickoff.
we're gonna leave the rest until tomorrow, if Maya don't mind. We got a lot of transfer news that we really want to talk about, but we probably just save it until tomorrow or so. So after the game, we can go more into this after France play and some Chelsea transfer, because 15 minutes ain't gonna wrap up all this transfer news that we got. So Myron, but I just want to ask you guys though about one other transfer that they said is a done deal. Both of you guys before I wrapped up, that will hit us at the 2 hour mark. Escoval William. What you guys think about that signing?
Meyer, please go ahead.
okay, excellent player. I feel he has a potential to be a good player. Um, I think it's a stepping stone for Chelsea. I think you should see it as that, not just to like come and just win trophies and all that. But as well, he has to have that mentality of winning trophies too. But very good player. Is very direct, versatile. Um, I just feel like he needs a loan. When he gets out, maybe if they give him, a chance first season and see, maybe analyze him how he plays, if it's good for the English football, because the Brazilian and the English football are actually different. So I'm sure it's gonna take time to adapt. So yeah, very good player. I'm excited. I would like to see how he's gonna do. Him and Kennedy Perez. I wanna see how they do. So yeah, I'm very excited about that player.
Yeah, I mean the signings that we're making are not too bad, I would say. I'm not too excited, to be very honest. It's a good signing, nothing more than that for now. Uh, we have to wait and see how this entire window turns out to be, how we go about, especially the number nine situation, addressing the central defense. If let's say Chalaba or Disasi or some other players leave. So in that context, we still don't know. We know the 2 3 players that have come in. So let's see how the final shape up is. Who will leave? Which players will leave? And will we fill the void that is the striker position and perhaps something else in the midfield if Gallagher goes? So and again, even if we have a good window, we had a great window last season, but we saw the results. So we have to wait and see, because to me, even if you can get Alvarez, Sesko, and all these players, Michael Olise, we have Enzo Maresca, who is an unknown manager at this level. So I'm not too excited, to be very honest. I think it will be a very long season for Chelsea Football Club. And yes, I mean, This is a rebuild. The next season is will be no different to the season we had. The last season that we had would be more or less similar with inconsistent results in my expectation, I can say, of course. But Enzo Maresca could always prove us wrong. So let's wait and see. The as I said, have seeing Nagelsmann with Germany uh, is such a painful blow. Is such a painful blow that I cannot recover from. Even Hansi Flick to Barcelona, Ruben Amorim. Okay, you even it's not just Nagelsmann and Flick, and then we have Ruben Amorim and other managers. We should have really went for based on merit, based on footballing reasons, based on logic. Mariska, of course, is new. He can, of course, be a great manager, but there is not enough evidence. And I am a scientific person. I would make decision based on evidence, based on data. This is a huge gamble. If it works out, fine. But then again, it's still a gamble. If you win a lottery or if you build your fortune by betting on Germany to win Euros and then you get rich, it's not that you are very clever in life. If you understand where I'm coming from, it's not a good strategy. They have taken a gamble. Many people say, who knows, it will be successful. But that success has nothing to do with the preparation, the skill set, the work in recruitment, in analytics, in solid footballing grounds. So yeah, I mean, let's wait and see. I hope it works. Even if it works, it has nothing to do with sporting directors and the owners. You can say skill set or the framework of choosing a manager because they have already failed to get the right manager for Chelsea Football Club. Any further news as we come near to the start of a historic England versus Serbia? Any further news? Any update? Hopefully the game is on time because of this some incidents that took place outside the stadium. Hopefully they are resolved. So I don't see anything that suggests
Wait,
otherwise.
is it what happened? What happened? What happened with the incident?
The same old story, some fans of other country as well and some British fans. They had some bus stops. A lot of fans were arrested. It got very ugly, before the game. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah, English fans, yeah. But um, yeah, just looking forward to the game. Pretty much sure we'll see if England will, handle this team. But yeah, this is going to be a difficult game. I can't just say England is going to win, but I'm just hoping for them to win.
So Govan, I think we can, of course, have 10 minutes so we can keep the discussion to the game we have in front of us. So which player you are excited? There's so much talent, looking at the starting 11, which player? I mean, there's so many. Which one or two player in particular that you would really love to see on the pitch? Really would love to observe in the English starting 11.
I would say Phil Foden because he's been very good for Man City. I would want to see what he's going to do in the game. Um, as well as Cole Palmer, I'd want to see Cole Palmer also if he gets added into the game. I would want to see Cole Palmer, but um, the first 45 minutes, would like to see Foden, see what he's gonna do on the flank.
Garvin, which players you are interested in? Declan Rice, Bellingham. What would you like to observe in this English performance?
Honestly, I want to see. The only thing I really was looking forward to see is Cole Palmer. To be honest, for the rest, I already know what they already can do for England in a tournament. So I want to see how Cole Palmer, develop into an international football player. So that's my biggest look towards the game was to see Cole Palmer. The rest is just normal to me.
Yeah, I would personally like to see the setup of Gareth Southgate. I mean, we know how the setup is, but how they play, how they take this game, you know. So yeah, I mean, we can of course predict the similarities, but in the start, they can of course be a little bit more, you can say, adventurous in the attack. But as always, we have seen with Southgate, as they go in the knockout, they are very defensive. So let's see where they are and how they play. So a very talented English team is going to start the game. Indefinite says, I'll show you guys what elite looks like. I completely agree with you, sir. So Gavin, if there are some chats I can read, and then in the 5 minutes
Oh,
you can wind up the show as we prepare for the live game, as we go and watch the live game. Any other chat that we need to read? I'll put pictures in the chat of what an authentic Argentinian asado looks like. Not the modern version of what Poch did. Very interesting comment. Has anyone watched Bastoni? Absolute baller.
Yeah,
Garvin,
very good baller. Wow,
yeah, Maya, you can
fantastic.
start. And Garvin, then please. He asked before, I perhaps we missed. He wants to know the performance of Bastoni yesterday. So, Meyer, please give your thoughts, and Garvin, please give your insights on Bastoni.
A good player, like very good player. I think he has learned. I think he's experienced enough to play Premier League football. Will he adapt? Yes. Yeah, into the system if we get him. Yes. Sometimes with Italian centre backs, normally they take time to adapt into English football. But if we get him, it'll be a good signing, a very good signing, and I wouldn't mind him. The performance that he had last night, it was very good. One outstanding performance. I think that's a performance that attracts big clubs for him. I wouldn't even be surprised if one of the big clubs would call for him, will lend him a bit. So yeah, very good player.
Garvin, did you watch the game, and what would you like to say on Bastoni?
I don't really got much to say. I want to see a little bit more of him in the tournament. He's a very good talent that I noticed for a while now, but I want to see how because this Italian team is not strong like it used to. So I want to see probably the next two games in this group stage to see how he go up, with the Italian team before I really make a big judgment on him. But he's a very good player. As what Aaron said, I like the talent, but I just want to see a little bit more from him. Just the same as I said, I want to see Cole Palmer in this tournament, to see what he can bring. So that's just my take on it. He's a very good player.
Yes, certainly, certainly. Indefinite says Bastoni is the experienced centre back. I would like, but I think Tosin is supposed to be that. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. So I think 5 to 7 minutes we have to wind the show and go and watch the three Lions. I will be rooting for Serbia just for fun, and because I'm
Yeah,
in Scotland, I have Scottish friends and they don't support England, and vice versa. So Meyer, uh, Jamal Musiala,
yes.
what a performance he had!
Wow.
People are comparing him with Kaká, even Ronaldinho, and I mean, he can be. I mean, the movement, the close range control. I mean, it is far fetched, but at times he even reminded me of Messi. I mean, this was too good to be true. The performance he had on Friday. I mean, how does it feel again to let this guy who could be in the next year even in the top five player in the world? I know I'm making a big statement, but he has everything. People are comparing him with Kaká, Ronaldinho. He's so young. Another pain, another pain in my heart to see him not at Chelsea. Meyer, what do you have to say?
Um, yeah, it's just it explains our youth scout. We actually lost the gem. What a player! This guy is definitely going to be one of the top five best players for maybe 4 or 5 years to come. He has shown us that. He has shown us at Bayern throughout the seasons. This guy is very, he is so outstanding, man. Like when I was just watching him, I just it just reminded me the football of Messi, Iniesta, Xavi. They are attacking as well. Like he's direct, versatile. Yeah, man. Like if no, I'm also gutted about losing him for 100K. We lost him for 100K to buy. Yeah.
And
So
if he'll be sold this year, next year, he's going for 90 to 100 and even more. I'm telling you.
hey, I mean,
Bayern Munich will
it.
get 100 million for him.
I think it's just a bad investment from him, because at that time I think he felt like he was not gonna get game time because the time we had Hazard, we had Willian, but they were close to their prime. They were close to their end of the prime. Sorry, but yeah, we definitely lost someone that could have been one of maybe Chelsea's legend right now if we gave him an opportunity. So I think, but what I say is that I think from what we see from Musiala, it gives us a chance to know, like, listen, we have now our young players that we have gotten, Kennedy, um, Willian, Washington, sorry, Cassidy, Santos, all those players, Angelo. We need to develop them and see where they can go. Get, get somewhere with these players. So yeah, man, I'm just also, Musiala, what a player, man. We lost a good player, a very wow. Maybe he's going to be one of the greatest players. If he continues like this, he's going to end up being one of the greatest players.
Yeah, I think he will be one of the great players of this generation. Top five, even top three could be. I mean, at least some of the games I saw of Munich, and then against Scotland, his close control, the way he dribbled, and it's like the ball. Similarly, as I said, it's like with Messi. I know I'm not comparing him to Messi, but at times how he was able to control with two three defenders in such a small pocket, small spaces, and was not falling down. It was like sticking to his feet. I have seen this after ages, something like that. So I was like Jamal Musiala and the coach Julian Nagelsmann. Both should have been at Chelsea Football Club.
Yeah.
Galvin, I know there is a lot to desire, but we leave the audience with that because it can go for hours. There's so much to talk on that. But I'm sure with this discussion we had of Euros, of Germany, of England, sorry about this call. Maybe someone from England is calling me. So
Yeah,
I
we're gonna end the
apologize for
stream.
having my phone
We can
turned
end the
on. I
stream right
apologize.
here because the game is almost started, so we can get settled in.
Yeah, so thank you for everyone for tuning in and a great discussion. Thank you for Gavin for giving unbelievable insights. Thank you for Meyer for joining, giving amazing insights as always. And to the rich money makers, to another, I think, a new one or two new names. Thank you for joining. Indefinite from Las Vegas, a man of integrity, of the highest standards. I always appreciate you, sir. We can have a podcast soon in a week or two. Gavin, please go ahead and wrap this beautiful live stream on a beautiful Sunday.
I want us to tell each and every one, all 25 persons watching right now, like, thank you, and we really appreciate it. And we will come up probably tomorrow or Tuesday with more content for you guys. You know, the Euros is on, so we all want to go and watch that game because we all in love. If we're not in love with England, we're in love with the Premier League, so we want to see what they have to offer. You know, we know Jersey wants to see England lost. You know, some of us want to see England do well because of the Premier League, and that's what we love. You know, Myron is over there in South Africa, represents the whole entire African nation. You know, and I really appreciate each and every one that come on. Indefinite, Rich Money Maker, you know, one of the four member that's always here in the chat. So we really appreciate each and every one. I just want to say thank you, you know, to always be here and supporting this channel. Not only my channel, but Blue Board Analyst, you know, and Ty YouTube channel, the Chelsea Session, you know, coach. We all know who is coach. So, you know, thank you for the community that we're building, to each and every one. And to Tobago YouTube channel, you know, you can give it a shout out, Jersey, if you want to. You know, all the YouTube channels that's in the community, you know, all love goes out to each and every one. So thank you guys. As we leave to go and watch the game, we'll catch you guys in another one.
Coming from a bad place, oh yeah. Tryna be a better me just for you. But it ain't easy, it's hard to get used to. Minding my own business, I'm not worried about what he do. Cause nowadays, all the niggas that be see-through. I always said this is that I'm staying around people. Finding my own path like I'm writing my own sequel. Two-faced people all around, they be evil. 2021, you can never trust nobody. Good and bad thoughts,